I just learned that the reason why most of my comments weren't coming through from Facebook and Twitter and YouTube was because I didn't have it on live. I'm sorry, everybody. So I'm only going to do, so mostly I was just talking to Instagram there. Hi, Instagram. Yes, you can ask questions. Wink Chewy 115. Ask a question while everyone's coming now on Facebook and Twitter and everywhere else. What's the question? What's the question? It's buried. I hope I see it when it comes. Okay, so I'm going to quickly do a very quick review for all the people who didn't see me because I was being a Luddite, a technical Luddite. Working from home, structure. First is set a hard schedule. Work in a space where you can't do anything else. That's your workspace, not in your bed, not in the living room. Find the space, whatever it is. And then tasks. Let's see, prioritize your list. Do your 3 most important things before lunch and create a distraction list for yourself. That's the fun stuff, right? When you go shopping or you call friends for your 10 minutes off. 50 minutes on, 10 minutes off. Okay, now let's talk about energy and the kind of energy you need to have. I say this a lot, but I'm going to say it again and again and again and again. We all need to exercise. We need to eat well. We need to sleep. We need to meditate. When I say eat well, never wait until you're hungry to decide what the meal is going to be. I actually plan my next day's meal the night before because I'm a weird one with protein. I cannot stand any animal in the fridge that's been there for too long. So I thaw it out only the night before. My freezer's got my protein in it. And before I go to bed, the last thing I do before I go to bed is I take out the chicken or I take out the salmon or whatever it's going to be. And then I plan my day. Sometimes I do best to take a break and cook a big lunch and then do a little tiny dinner. But I plan my food ahead of time. Don't wait till you're hungry. Also, you know what screens do, right? Screens put an unnatural light through your eyes to your occipital lobe that tells your brain that it's morning and it's time to wake up. So if you want to get a good night's sleep, you have to get off your screens at least an hour before you go to sleep. I mentioned take breaks during the day and make them structured and make sure you do them. And during those breaks, can you please get up and move? Literally, I sat for too long today. And when I got up, I swear my back and my hip, I was like, what happened? I'm like stuck in a sitting position. Yes, Daniel, working out definitely does help. Another fun thing is to reward yourself. Like how about if I get 3 good meetings on the calendar, then I'm going to go for a run. Or if I get, all these emails finally answered, then I'm going to reward myself with watching, whatever YouTube video is your favorite to watch. So find ways to reward yourself. And the other important thing about working from home is know when it's time to quit. I've noticed, I sometimes will send an email because I've thought of something that has to do with work on the weekend or the evening or at a crazy time like 5:30 in the morning. And I'm always shocked when that coworker answers the email immediately because then I feel bad because I'm like, I don't want you to have to answer right now. I was supposed to just sit in your box for when you're ready. So you need to control your own email. I suggest checking email only about 4 times a day. First thing in the morning, mid-morning, then after lunch, and at the end, near the end of the day. 4 times is all you need. If you're checking it and checking it and checking it and checking it, I mean, some of you have to during business hours, but if you're also trying to get things done, then you can't be distracting yourself. You're creating a kind of ADHD, I think, just by going back and forth from the emails. So know when to quit at the end of the day and keep hours. I mean, if you're working into the night every night and you're not a night person, then there's no psychological delineation between your day and your work day and your fun day. So for me, my day ends at 6 o'clock. So it's like, hey, after work, I just got out of work. And I usually the first thing I do for me to just change my headspace is I light a scented candle, and I turn on some music and I start to cook usually. And that signals to me, okay, my home is now for living. It's no longer a workplace. And I don't answer emails in the evening unless it's really crucial. But the people who need me for work know my phone number. And so they'll call me. And so that will work. Anyway, it's hard But we have to create some structure for ourselves at home. We have to wake up at the same time every day as if it's a regular work day. We have to schedule in that exercise. Those on Facebook and where else do I have it? YouTube and Twitter, because my StreamYard came on late. I gave a little plug for my friends at the studio MDR. They have great online classes that I love to do. They're only 40 minutes. It's great. And I do them here. I also wanted, because if you missed the feed earlier, to give a plug for my friend's company. They do not pay me for this. These amazing masks are called Air Queen. Air Queen. There we go. Go to airqueen.com. These are surgical masks comparable to an N95. They are super, super affordable. You can wash them up to 10 times. They're this weird paper, but I did the test. I tried to blow out a candle in one of them, and you cannot blow out the candle. Like, no air goes out, except you can still breathe because it's coming in a little bit from here, right? So it feels super comfortable, super lightweight. It's got the metal in here, so you can bend it around your nose. And if you put your glasses on, you don't steam up your glasses, right? So I highly suggest, I think they're like 30 of them are $73. I ordered a bunch for my daughter today so she could have it for all her roommates, etc. All right. Anybody have any questions that are okay to ask? Oh, they are 30 of them for $73, and they get cheaper the more you buy. You can buy 100 or whatever, but they're all come individual packaged, and they look like this, and they're lightweight. They're made in Korea, and they've been used in dental offices for years and years and years. So they're really good quality. I noticed that I was reading somewhere online today that in San Francisco, they have banned any mask with a ventilator in it, because apparently if you have a ventilator that helps you breathe, it means your breath is going out. So they've also banned simple cloth masks because they're not protective enough. So if you're in the Bay Area, just letting you know, Air Queen would be the thing. And we all do need to wear masks. We have to. Yeah, airqueen.com is where you go. Since many people are from, what do you say to people who say normal work hours no longer exist because many people are working from home? Thank you, Ask Nurse Alice. Okay, so the answer is, when people say boundaries, you can't put boundaries on anybody else, but you sure can put them on yourself. So people can say all they want about what their workday is and their choice, but it's absolutely okay to say, I work from 9 to 6. And I take my lunch from this time to this time, or I only check emails every few hours. And you know what? Here's the interesting thing. It's like when you're parenting a 2-year-old, they have this sense, and they can tell when you're a little ambivalent about a rule, because that's when they work you the most, right? So I find that when you're clear inside yourself, it's way easier to be a better parent. It's way easier to set boundaries for yourself. It's only when you're questioning yourself, right? And your own rules for things. So become clear. I think of the example, my first job after my first maternity leave, and I'm very indebted, and I love this company, it was cnet.com. And I was flying up to San Francisco from LA to work for them. And I was breastfeeding. I had an 18-month-old. I went into toddler breastfeeding, and I just knew in my heart it was the thing to do, long-term breastfeeding. I just knew. And so I told them that I couldn't go on any business trips longer than 24 hours unless they bought another seat for a nanny and lap baby. And they were all dads, and they said, sure. And it was only because I was so clear with myself that I was able to ask for it in a non-defensive way, and just like, by the way, this is this other thing I need. So anyway, that's the main thing, is that this structure that we're talking about when we're working from home, we need to keep it for us, and then everybody will line up and follow us and get with the program. And if they are calling you late at night, don't pick up the phone. If they are emailing you, they will learn when you don't respond. I even use this like in relationships, right? If someone is texting you or emailing you and you're not responding, it means they're not into you, right? So there's a message there. And I'll get, women will say to me, I want this guy to call me, and all he's doing is texting or something. And I will say, well, what are you doing? Texting him back. I'm like, well, there you go, right? So you're rewarding that behavior. But also in the same sense, you can set up boundaries by just not responding to people as well. Yes, Annie, we all need self-boundaries. We need to. And yes, Wing Chun yoga does help. Mindfulness meditation helps, gets you into those theta and delta waves that your brain can relax. I always think of it, meditation, as being like that state you're in, like pre-sleep, and you can really relax. Any more questions before I go about working from home and human behavior and how to get, I want to say one thing about Zoom meetings. Use Zoom meetings very judiciously. Here's why. When you are confronted with a very large face right in your face, your brain actually perceives that as a threat. Because in a normal meeting, you're in a conference room that's long, the person's far away, you got a wide shot, you are looking down at your phone half the time, you're sending notes to your friend, you're back and forth. You're not fixed on a screen staring at somebody, right? So I would say be very careful about the Zoom meetings. Don't have too many. Make sure that you set an end time and make sure that end time is short. If you think you're going to need a 1 hour meeting, make it 30 minutes. If you think you need a 30-minute meeting, make it 15 minutes. So that get the work done quickly, cut to the chase, and get out of there. I think I have some more comments over here. Okay, I think I got it all. If anybody has any more questions, I think that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm here every Wednesday at 6 o'clock for a live stream. I don't know what I'll talk about next week. And also, you can always listen to me every Sunday from 4 to 6 on KFI AM 640. You can always listen on the iHeartRadio app. And my podcast is, let me just switch over to my logo so that you can see it. Banners, there it is. No, it didn't go. Podcast Meeting Matters, but how do I put the, this is so hard to learn. There we go. My podcast is called Mating Matters, and producer Brooke Peterson and I have been working on a bunch of new episodes that are coming out soon. So if you need to catch up, you should, though, because I think we got 50 episodes out there. And also we have like a hotline you can call. If you listen to one of the episodes, there's a voicemail line that we give out at the end. I don't have it in my head, but listen to an episode, it's there. And if you have any particular questions, we are compiling also episodes that are just listener questions. Absolutely, Nurse Alice, call me anytime, send me a DM, whatever. All right, nice to see everybody. We'll see you next Wednesday. No, first, I'm going to see you. Where am I going to see you? I'm going to hear you. You're going to hear me Sunday, 4 o'clock Pacific, KFI, AM 640.